Hello, it is I are smart. And I know I'm a bit late to this news, guys. I know this happened like a week ago, but it takes me a bit to like process all this stuff. Okay. Anyway, Dave Filoni, if you didn't hear, got promoted at Lucasfilm. He's now their chief creative officer. If you're not familiar with what that means, because I wasn't either, honestly, it basically means he's kind of like at the start. I forget exactly what he said. He's at like the inception of all of their new creative ideas. So he's got a bigger, more important role than what he did before. Because before, I mean, he worked on the animation stuff. He directed some episodes of some TV shows. He was involved in the creative process of some TV shows. But now he's going to be like up more high level, leading the direction of Star Wars going forward. If that makes sense. He's just going to be, whenever they make a new decision for a new show, he's going to be involved with the inception of that show. And, the kind of like creative process of being like, should we make a show about this? What kind of things should be in this show? And that's kind of what we can, at least what we can gather from what they've told us. There isn't much details on it so far. It's not like he's outlined to us everything he's working on. So that's pretty much what we can figure out so far. And I've been kind of gauging fan reactions online to kind of see how people are reacting to this. And I've kind of seen three distinct reactions. So there's a lot of people who are like me, right? Who are kind of like, cool, that seems great. I mean, he's done some good stuff in the past, but at the same time, he's also, done like stuff like Mando Season 3 and Ahsoka, which a lot of fans like me didn't really like. So not really looking forward to this news. Then you have, of course, the people who love Dave Filoni and love Ahsoka and all the stuff he's done in the past and Clone Wars and all that. Who are like, yes, this is great news. Dave Filoni's finally going to be, we're going to have some direction to Star Wars. We're going to have someone planning it all out. Everything's going to be connected and everything's going to make sense. We're not going to have to worry about, this thing not fitting with this thing, episode 8 and episode 9 going in completely different directions. We're not going to have to worry about stuff like that anymore because now we got Dave Filoni keeping everything in line. And I get that point of view too. Also, there's just the people who are like, stupid, why is Kathleen Kennedy still there? Dave Filoni should kick her out of there now, Why, Kathleen Kennedy's still involved? This is terrible news. Grr, I hate Kathleen Kennedy. Grr, I'm so mad that Kathleen Kennedy exists. She ruined my life. Grr. Because those fans will literally never grow up. Anyway, the thing is, we're mainly just going to be talking about the two people who are like, yay, Dave Filoni, and the people who are like, oh, Dave Filoni. So, I already told you, I'm more on the side of, oh, yikes, because I really don't want Star Wars to become the MCU. That's what I'm worried about here. Some of the wording really sounds like they're trying to make Star Wars become the MCU. I mean, especially after Ahsoka. That was the most just like, oh, I don't know what's going on unless I've watched every other Star Wars animated show to understand this one, 8-episode show. Yay, I love that so much. I really hate that. I really don't want to do that. I mean, I get Star Wars. There's a lot of content to watch. But, I'd at least like to be able to keep stuff somewhat. I don't want to have to watch every single Star Wars thing that exists. I have, but I don't think everyone should have to have watched every Star Wars thing to be able to watch Star Wars, right? I don't like that. I don't want us to become that. And also, the MCU just kind of sucks nowadays. I mean, I haven't even seen the latest movie because, apparently, I don't know. No one went to go see it, the Marvels or whatever it's called. It just didn't look interesting to me, I guess. And it's just I haven't really liked much Marvel stuff. I guess I liked Loki season 2. That was decent. And I enjoyed parts of it. But it was just, again, it was just kind of weird with the finale and everything. I don't know. So it's just, I don't want Star Wars to become the MCU. That's a big point I want to make in this video. And I don't think that's what Dave Filoni wants to do, but I could definitely see it happening under him, of being like, oh, we have to connect this show with this show, and then this thing has to be connected to this. Let's make sure all these shows are connected in some way so that people have to watch them all. It's like, no. I don't know. The thing is, it's I get that I'm going to watch all the Star Wars things. There are people like me, but I think there's some people who are just going to pick and choose. And I think that should be an option in Star Wars. You should be able to pick and choose what you want. There should be these Star Wars fans like this. These Star Wars fans like this. We got the Rey movie coming out, and people are like, why do we have a Rey movie? It's like, okay, there are a lot of sequel fans who want to see more of Rey. We should, give something to those fans, right? With Ahsoka, there's a bunch of people who like the Clone Wars and like Ahsoka. We should make a show for those fans. People like me didn't necessarily like it, but I recognize that it isn't for me. It's for people who liked Ahsoka and like those characters, and like Anakin and all that stuff. I can recognize, hey, I didn't really like this, but it's for them. So I don't think we should really segment out Star Wars fans and not interact at all. But I still think we should, make Star Wars content for the different groups of fans. Does that make sense? Basically what I'm hoping that Dave Filoni does in this position is just kind of keeping track of Star Wars stuff. Keeping everything, making sense. Lore stuff. Hey, I have this idea. Can I want a character to do this? And he's like, that doesn't really fit with lore. Fans are going to lose your mind if you, have another hyperspace ramming scene. So maybe change it into something else that kind of works. And they're like, okay, sure, we can change that up a bit. Rather than him writing everything. Because I don't want him to write everything. I don't want him to direct everything. I don't want that to happen. Okay? Because first of all, I don't think he's that great of a director, honestly. I think he's pretty good with, like, making up creative ideas and, you know, that sort of stuff. And he's, you know, a decent writer in some stuff with, like, the Clone Wars and Ahsoka. But it's like, I mean, even, like the episodes of Mandalorian and Ahsoka he directed were not great in terms of direction stuff. I could get into it later, but we don't have time for it. So it's just like, I don't want him to be directing everything, which isn't what he's doing, again. But it's just like, him being involved where he is, I think it could be good if it's just him keeping track of creative stuff like that. Because, I mean, look at Clone Wars. Like I said, he's and Rebels, too. He's good at coming up with ideas and putting cool stuff in Star Wars. Like, I don't know, this spaceship. And, you know, the E-Wing from Legends. He's good at taking ideas and putting them into Star Wars. That's what I think Dave Filoni is really skilled at. But in terms of, like, characters and stuff, I mean, I didn't really connect to any of the characters in Ahsoka, besides Baylan and Shin. Baylan and Shin were pretty cool. But, you know, I think that's something he more struggles with, is actually, like, writing deep, interesting characters. So, again, if it's just him coming up with cool creative stuff, I'm all for that. That's what I want to see of Dave Filoni. I want to see him making up cool ideas of Star Wars. That's what I think he's good at. But him being the guy who makes all the stories, Also, another thing I'm hoping this means that there will be less of that, like, you know, hey, we got so-and-so, they're going to make a Star Wars movie in a couple years, and then, like, a couple months later, it's like, oh, sorry, that's canceled. Like, I'm hoping that's going to happen less often now, because if what I understand about this new position for Dave Filoni, it's going to be him planning out all the stuff that happens in the future, which hopefully means it isn't just going to be like, hey, you, want to make a Star Wars movie? Sure, whenever you're available, let us know. And it's like, oh, it didn't work out? Darn. So hopefully if they actually plan it out more with having Dave Filoni managing all this stuff, I'm hoping that means that we're going to have less of canceled Star Wars movies and stuff. Because there's a lot like the Rogue Squadron movies, stuff like that we're never going to get to see because they just couldn't figure out how to schedule it. Because they were just like, oh, sure, we'll make a movie about that. That sounds interesting, but let's not put any effort into making sure it actually happens. It's like, why? So hopefully that happens less often now of stuff getting canceled. Because it was very disappointing. It was like last year, there was so much stuff that was announced and canceled, and it was like, oh, and it just sucked to be a Star Wars fan seeing all that stuff get canceled. So I'm hoping that happens less often now. Also, when is my Rian Johnson trilogy? Please tell me it's still gonna happen, please. Please, like, I know for all of you who hate Last Jedi are like, no, Rian Johnson trilogy, but like, guys, if he made a movie that, like, everyone was mad because he, like, you know, changed Luke Skywalker and had his own interpretation. If Rian Johnson was able to make like his own trilogy with totally new characters in a totally separate part of Star Wars, I think it'd be awesome. If he just, you know, because people were just upset that he messed with other Star Wars stuff. But the stuff he didn't do, the new original stuff, I thought was great in The Last Jedi. So if he could make a whole trilogy with whole new stuff in it, I think it'd be good. Because Rian Johnson is talented in some stuff. So I don't know. But anyway, that's a totally different tangent. Just please give me the Rian Johnson trilogy, please. I want it so bad. So yeah, I guess my main point with all this, I'm telling you, like, sure, I'm gonna be with you guys. I think this is good news overall at the end of the day. It's just, I'm a bit hesitant because I don't want him to just be like, hey, Andor Season 2, you guys don't have nearly enough references. You gotta have Ahsoka show up in this show. You gotta have Darth Vader show up, you know. If people aren't gonna watch this if you don't have, you know, like, Luke Skywalker showing up in this show, you gotta throw all these characters in the show. Come on, man. You gotta put this stuff in Andor, please. Do not ruin Andor Season 2, Dave Filoni. I beg you. If you do that, I will never forgive you if you ruin Andor Season 2. God, I need it to be good. I need Andor Season 2 to be good. Please, Andor Season 1 was peak. And again, that's kind of the point I'm getting at. Is like, there's a lot of people who didn't like Andor. I get that. I'm perfectly okay with that, right? I mean, once you start saying Andor is bad, that's a different thing. But if you just didn't like Andor, I understand that. Because, again, different parts of Star Wars are for different fans. Not everyone watched Star Wars Visions, but I thought Star Wars Visions was cool because it was a little thing, like, hey, a little niche thing. You're like, oh, you like different kinds of animation styles, but with a Star Wars twist on it? Cool. Enjoy that if you want, but if you don't have to watch it. Don't worry about it. That's what I want with Star Wars. I don't want everything to be, oh, you didn't watch this one series like a couple years ago? Sorry, you have no idea what's going on now. So it's like, I don't know. Like, I like having connected universe stuff, but at the same time, don't have it so connected that I can't watch Star Wars without having watched everything else, right? That's what I'm getting at. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on Dave Filoni, kind of all over the place. I just really wanted to talk about this new promotion that came up. And yeah, so let me know, what do you guys think? That's the thing YouTubers say. Let me know down in the comments. What do you think, okay? Just don't tell me I'm an idiot. It's really annoying when people do that. They're like, you're so stupid. You do... Like, can you guys just not? I'm not feeling it today, man. I don't want to look at mean comments again. Like, I get it. It's like, can you just say something nice, okay? Say something nice about me, alright? Come on. That's all I ask. Okay, that's it. That's the end of the video. Bye. Actually, wait, this isn't the end of the video yet. I want to show you. Did you see this Lego set? It's freaking cool. I know I was just holding it and showing it off in the set, but it's cool. And look at the figures. You get, like... I actually don't know who that guy is. I don't really care. But he was in that one scene where Ahsoka was on, like, the speeder bike. Yeah. These two ships were in completely different scenes. But look, dude, look at the Balin and Shin minifigures. You see this? Look at these figures. These are great figures. Honestly, I love these. These are my two favorite characters from the Ahsoka show. You also get the witch lady, Morgan Elsbeth, and I don't really care about her. And then I got out my old Thrawn minifigure. Guys, I am very lucky to have this minifigure. This is the only Thrawn minifigure they've ever made, and he's worth like $40 or something. I was just very lucky to get the set when it came out. I had no idea who he was when I got the set, because I hadn't watched Star Wars Rebels. But yeah, I have this, and you don't have this, and I'm going to flex the fact that I have the Thrawn minifigure now, so haha. Okay, this is the actual one of the video now, bye.